Imagine cutting your costs in half. VTEX, the enterprise platform offering commerce, OMS, marketplace solutions, and much more, can help you reduce your total cost of ownership by at least 50%. Trusted by global leaders such as Carrefour, Walmart, Cencosud, VTEX is the go-to choice for both CIOs and CEOs who demand excellence. Discover how VTEX can elevate your business today. Visit vtex.com or click the QR code on your screen. Let's go to the episode. Today, I'm in New York, joined by Andrew Laudato. He is the COO of Vitamin Shoppe, a leading health and wellness retailer known for its wide range of vitamins, supplements, and wellness products, as well as innovative omnichannel experiences. Andrew has a unique perspective, moving from CIO to COO, and he's the author of the book Fostering Innovation: How to Build Amazing IT Teams. In this episode, we'll talk about the evolution of Vitamin Shoppe, the secrets to build high-performing tech teams, and how AI is reshaping the future of retail. Here's Paula Macadi, and this is episode 73 of my show. Welcome to OFFBounds. Andrew, it's a pleasure to be here in New York with you. It's been a while that I'm trying to get you here, so welcome to the show.
Thanks for having me. I'm thrilled to be here.
So we have a wide audience from all over the world that might not be familiar with Vitamin Shoppe. Why don't you explain to us a little bit what is Vitamin Shoppe and how many stores you have and everything that is around it?
Sure. The Vitamin Shoppe is a US-based health and wellness retailer. We're omni-channel by every sense of the word. So buy online, shop in store, pick up in store, ship from store, marketplaces. And we have 650 stores, in which what makes us special, our secret sauce, is we focus on three things: quality, innovation, and expertise. And the expertise is about when you come to our shops, that our employees, which we call health enthusiasts, because we hire people interested in health and we spend a lot of time and energy and money training them so that they stay current. Customers can talk about their needs, and each customer is on a different, we're all on a health journey, we're all on a different health journey. And so each customer gets to talk to our health enthusiasts about achieving their health journeys.
So the frontline employees are experts that can serve these customers.
Absolutely. And they enjoy it. You know, they enjoy helping people, and they have amazing stories about customers that came in with a problem or a need or a goal, and then they help them achieve that.
And what are some of the omni-channel experiences the Vitamin Shoppe has that differentiate you?
Yeah, I think that I like to say that we're faster than Amazon. So you could order on our website, go pick it up, and the stores are pretty close to anyone in the USA. If you want to do that, we can ship it to your home. We use partnerships like Instacart and DoorDash and Uber Eats, so you could shop on theirs. We're on marketplaces. So we have a mantra at the Vitamin Shoppe that we want our customers to shop how, when, and where they prefer.
So you focus a lot on like Amazon, we usually refer to convenience, but you are convenient and you have the expertise of the employees.
Yeah, and then the first two, quality. So, you know, it's one thing if I buy a sweater and it tears because it's not made well, oh well. But we're selling things that people are ingesting in their bodies. So quality is so key to everything we do. And we talk about quality in the products that we sell, but also in how we sell them, how we approach our customers, how we communicate. So, and then innovation, which I think we're going to talk a lot about today, is also baked into our DNA. And that could be new products, new ingredients, technology, new processes. Innovation is just woven throughout our culture.
Well, you wrote the book Fostering Innovation and How to Build Amazing Tech Teams. How do you build amazing tech teams? What is an amazing tech team?
Back in college, we all learned about Abraham Maslow. If you remember that guy, he was like, you know, your basic needs have to be met before you can self-actualize. Basically, Maslow was saying, if you're getting chased by a bear, you can't fall in love and have a family. Right? You got to have food and water and safety. Amazing IT teams have that exact same concept. So first and foremost, your stuff has to work. Your emails have to email, and your reports need to come out, and your website needs to be up all the time, 24/7, performant. And so the most important thing IT does is probably the most basic, is keep the lights on. Love to call that KTLO. It's like we look like we're at a radio station, right? CIOs are spinning the records at KTLO. And I'm not saying it has to be perfect, but it better be pretty darn good, because customers have choices. So that's the basis. That's kind of like the Maslow safety needs. But then an amazing IT team needs to be lean and efficient. You know, you can't be wasting the company's money. It's a cost center, so you need to make sure that you're running a really, really well run, from the bills and the the cost.
You have a P&L to
Absolutely.
to take care of.
In fact, I think CEOs really are CEOs of IT, and that's the best way to think about it. So the next thing is what everyone thinks IT does is projects, and this is about creating value. It's about ROI, right? So an amazing IT team easily pays for itself multiple times over. You're putting in new capabilities, some of the ones I mentioned, right? So that's a huge part of it. And then finally, at the top of the heap, Maslow would call it self-actualization, and in IT, we call it innovation. So I say all the time that you have to earn the right to innovate by keeping the lights on, running a lean department, getting your projects done, then you get to innovate.
And why did you write this book?
Oh, yeah. Well, it was COVID and I needed something to do.
I didn't have enough.
Yeah, exactly. I learned something a long time ago that if you want to be an expert at something, you need to teach it. And boy, the truth comes out. You try to explain something, and trying to explain something in a simple way really helps you understand it better. So I've learned so much in my career from mentors, from peers, from books I read, that I thought maybe I could kind of share my knowledge and help others learn things the easy way. You know, we all make mistakes, but if someone can learn from my mistakes, I think that's great for them. I like to learn from their mistakes, and we'll all go up together.
One of the things you mentioned in your book is that CIOs need the ability of explaining what they do in the language that everybody else speaks, right, in the organization. Not everybody knows all the technical names that the IT team knows. So I guess this goes, as you're explaining, once you know how to explain to the leadership or to the other people that you're dealing with the tech, you learn it as well.
Yeah, IT just has gone too far with all the acronyms and initials. I mean, you know this acronym WWW? Of course, right?
Well, I know, yes.
You know what it's short for?
No.
It's short for World Wide Web. So we took 9 syllables, 3 syllables, World Wide Web, and shortened it down to 9, right? So why do we do these things? And everything, you know, has a name, and pretty soon it becomes an acronym, and we're just talking in alphabet soup. So we absolutely need to start speaking in clear language. I believe it's the job of the IT leaders, and really all of IT people, to learn the language of their business. Because business people are just as guilty with their acronyms, whether it's AOV or UPTs, right? So, but in IT, we shouldn't expect our business partners to learn our tech language, but we should be expected, we work for that business, to learn their language. And
you have an interesting path. So you were a CIO for many years, and now you run as a COO for Vitamin Shoppe. Another thing that you say in your book is how you became the internal customer of your previous role, if I can explain.
Yes, even worse. I still oversee the IT and the operations, you know, the supply chain, wholesale, and some other areas. So I guess I like to joke that I'm mad at myself quite a bit.
But how does it work? What was one realization that you had once you took the COO role?
When you're in IT, technology is harder than it looks. If you ever seen a computer program, when people learn computers, the first thing you do is you'll write a program that'll spit out "Hello World." And that means your computer program is here. And in certain programming languages, it could be 5, 10, 20 lines, different modules, you know, and so technology is harder than it looks because it's not very impressive to say "Hello World," but it could take you a couple hours to get that up and running. And I've always known that. I've always known, because I grew up in the tech world, how difficult it is to build things. But when you get to operations, you don't really have that understanding or that patience, right? I'm trying to run a warehouse or ship to customers or build a new capability. Like, you look around and go, everybody's doing this. We need to have real-time inventory. So the realization as an operator is I need this stuff now. I can't wait. And the realization as a tech person is you got to have some empathy. So it's all about having empathy for both sides. But it's still frustrating. I want it now, right? So that's an old Queen song. I want it all, and I want it now.
I talked to an operator that said exactly that. Like me, he never worked in the tech side, but he deploys tech for the organization to run better, right? So he works a lot with the tech team. It's like, why we can do with this store exactly the same thing we're doing like in another region, and that's the hard part, right? Like, because you think it's just copying.
Yeah.
But each store has its difficulties.
Well, think about it this way. If we get 10,000 orders in a day, we don't go home till we ship 10,000 orders, right? We stay there and we pack and ship, and all those orders have to get out. But in IT, we only do a small fraction of what people ask us to do. Because it's very easy to think of an idea. We'll probably think of 3 ideas today while we're talking. It takes, seconds to think of an idea, but it takes days, weeks, months, or even years to build that. And so if you're a customer of IT, you're mostly not getting what you want. You're getting 1%, 0.5%. And so it's incumbent upon IT people not to be the department of no, to maybe be the department of not yet, or let me help you prioritize your item so it gets there. But IT departments get in real trouble when they're no, because now they're not part of the solution. They're a roadblock.
Yeah, but it's also the IT team that enables all the capabilities that has been discussed. So it's a tough one. Yeah.
But it isn't, because I think you just nailed it. It's priorities. So if you have a really good process to say, all right, we have 100 ideas, we can work on 10 of them. What's number one? What's going to drive the most? Is it revenue or operations or cost? But and the best IT teams are really in tune to the strategy of the company. And then they make sure that their number one item that they're working on is going to deliver that strategy.
One thing that we talk a lot about when we're talking about innovation, and unfortunately we can't skip this word anymore, is AI. How are you team innovating with AI?
Oh, in so many ways. So let's start with the basics of AI, just productivity. Whether it's summarizing a meeting, building minutes, going through a big document, saying, give me the details. We're using it for inclusion. We're using it for translating from certain languages back to others, which is really exciting. We use something called robotic process automation. We can maybe debate if that's AI or not, but the A in AI stands for artificial. So robotic process automation is a logical or software robot that has a user ID and a password, and it's given a task. So every day it can log on to a system and download a file. It could update things. It create mail merge and send out hundreds of letters. And we're doing a lot of RPA at the Vitamin Shoppe. And what's exciting about it is it does the most boring, simple jobs. By its very nature, it has to do repetitive things. So once you get things standardized, you can give them over to RPA and just knock that out and free up our employees. We're all health enthusiasts, to work on the fun stuff and the important stuff. So we're doing that. We use AI in cybersecurity, which I will not talk about. First rule of cybersecurity is you don't talk about it. But some of the most advanced bad guys are using AI, so you need to defend with AI as well. We're using AI for code development. So there's a term called vibe coding when you're kind of coding side by side with the AI. And one of our principal engineers was able to build some tools for the IT team very, very quickly.
So one thing that I just mentioned is vibe coding and your team being able to develop a few solutions for the business. Do you think that will stop the company or limit the company on getting new vendors of technologies if you can do that now? Or
look, we built a tool for internal needs. I think that ideally we're not in the business of building software. Every time we have a need, we go shopping. So first you go shopping and say, hey, does that exist? Is it already there? If not, though, we have these new capabilities that we can use vibe coding. I mean, we could have coded it before, kind of with the old-fashioned way, but now it makes it more cost-effective to build it really quickly.
If you cost $10 million to get many developers to develop a technology in 3 years, and now you can do it 2 or 3.
Now, is this a threat to software companies? Absolutely, but they're going to be using it too, right? So they're going to be able to innovate their software to build more features more aggressively. I think that the only threat is to people that aren't using AI to augment their coding.
And how is AI helping with inclusivity?
There's a gentleman on our team who is deaf, and he's able to read transcription and work, via Microsoft Teams all day, every day. That's really, really exciting. We're able to translate from languages. We have a gadget where you can speak into a microphone in one language and it puts it in the other language up on the screen. It's not perfect. We get a few chuckles, but it's really, really great. So we like to celebrate the holidays of all of our health enthusiasts. And I don't know a lot about, say, Diwali, but I can have AI create a little article for me and then celebrate a holiday that, I never really celebrated growing up, but I really enjoy learning about these cultures through AI. So just by weaving it into all these things and having this goal of having a diverse culture, AI becomes one of the tools to enable that.
That's very interesting. That's the one use case I haven't had mentioned here on OFFBounds yet. Would you listen to an AI agent speaking in a podcast, just like to see if my job is going to stay here?
So in our warehouse, one of our warehouses, we call them distribution centers because we don't like to warehouse goods. So I'll call it, in our distribution center, we have robots. And I always had this vision that, wow, a robot, it won't call in sick. It won't have problems. It won't have, conflict. But boy, was I wrong. Like, these robots break down. They get lost. They do this little square dance where they
need a lot of maintenance.
They do. And we even had one robot try to escape. And, they're supposed to be in this virtual fence, like a dog fence, but we found it in the back of a truck, like, let me out. And I think right now these AI agents are going to be similar, right? They're not going to have nuance and understanding and people. So I think you're okay for a while, for several years. I think that whether it's an AI employee or an AI agent or an AI podcast, it's going to be the bottom of the barrel. It's going to be below the employees. And now will it 5-10 years? Who knows? I mean, it could be that we're on this linear growth or, exponential growth, or it could cap out. I think we'll wait and see. But right now, I don't think we have to worry about our agents. They'll be helpers, but they're not going to do our jobs.
For how long?
For
like 6 months, for a year? I don't know.
We don't know exactly.
And how are you playing with agents already?
So at the Vitamin Shoppe, we went all in on what's called mock, composable web and web services. Not far from us is the Lego store. We think about our IT as this big box of Legos, which are capabilities. And so as anyone wants to sell or go through our engine, it's already there. So we could put a widget on a website. If you wanted to sell vitamins, mineral supplements on, OFFBounds, you'd put a little widget, no code, and it would link off to the Vitamin Shoppe, and we'd pay a little commission. So we have no code services. We have full APIs. So we already have this bucket of Legos for capabilities. We don't have an agent yet, but we're easily ready for whatever comes next.
So are you playing with different scenarios, possible scenarios to see what?
We are, we're talking about it. We're toying. What I love about AI is we can move quickly and try a lot of things, take some risk. You don't have to make a big financial commitment or a big time commitment. So there's all kinds of things that we're playing with. And our company is going through a transition, but I think you're going to see from us, I know you're going to see from us a real focus on innovation and growing our digital channel, complemented by the store channel. And so a lot of exciting things to come at the Vitamin Shoppe.
If you had to, you wrote your book, what year did you write your book?
2020.
2020. If you had to rewrite your book, building amazing IT teams, how would that change now with AI?
You mean in AI to write it or to talk about it?
I don't know. Are you going to include agents in your AI team? I don't know. How do you?
I think that I would have wrote a lot more about remote work and the pros and cons of remote work. It was just kind of emerging when I was at home during COVID writing this. And so we hadn't really figured it all out yet. And now there's a little bit of a backlash. So I think I would really talk a lot about what it means to be in person like we are today, which, improves the quality of this conversation versus heads down work where maybe an office environment may be too noisy and it's distracting. But the benefits, especially I think to younger people, to be immersed in business and maybe watch how successful leaders behave and act. So I would write a lot more about that. As far as AI employees, I think it kind of goes back to the robots. I think that they're going to be coming, and for really simple, go from what we already talked about, robotic process automation, to an AI that has a little bit of thinking. Although it's not thinking, right? It's emulating thinking. It's artificial.
It sounds very thinking for me.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, it's a parlor trick.
Yeah.
Like if I said to you, I fell off how would you answer that? Bike, tree,
cliff.
bench, cliff.
Yeah.
If I said, last night I fell off of the
stool
while sleeping, I fell off the bed, right? So as you give more context, you can complete the sentence. And really large language models, that's effectively what they're doing. They have context. They have hundreds of millions of conversations in writing, and they're just completing the sentence. So I know it seems crazy and mysterious, but that's how it's working.
I don't see them like that. Maybe because I'm not the technologist that you are. So for me, I don't know, the fact that they're answering things very friendly or do exactly what I want to hear, things like that makes me very confused by the reasoning.
Well, there's some backlash that maybe they're a little too flattering. You can go in there and ask ChatGPT, to do your IQ, and it'll say you're brilliant, and you probably are, but it's going to say it, to everybody.
Yeah, one of the things, and I think supplements would be a perfect fit for that. So if I do that often with ChatGPT, is I have an oily skin, and I want products for my skincare. What would you recommend? And he recommends me the products, the options that I have. If you don't have this one, you can buy this one. And I think supplements come to the same level of I need a diet, or which supplement should I take? Are you already working with LLMO or the death of search engine optimization?
Yeah, but you also have to be very careful because there's a lot of questions. So if you say, I'm having trouble sleeping, what should I take? I need to know what medicine you're on. Are you on any medications? Yeah. What are you already taking? What supplements? What are your habits? Your sleep hygiene. So I think that for us right now, we want to use what's human in the middle. So let's augment our health enthusiasts with knowledge and data, but use their expertise and common sense to make sure that, the AI is not just telling somebody something that's kind of dangerous or risky or not ideal for them.
But are they going to do that? That's the thing.
Yeah, of course. Well, people could be on AI asking all kinds of questions, right? And I think a lot of these AIs have, I don't know what rules they have in them, but they try to be very careful about consult your doctor or what about this and ask the questions. But yeah, I think we just have to be smart about it. I think it's an important part, right? Search just going keyword and finding it, that's over. Search needs to be smarter. And a lot of people search not just for product, but for call it a solution.
Yeah. And you're part of the Retail AI Council. So it seems like you're an advocate of, educating or getting leaders together to work with AI or finding ways to work with AI.
It's the entire mission of the Retail AI Council is education. What's out there, what's changing, what's working, what are other people doing, what's hype, what's not AI, just been renamed AI. And I think, and I've been in retail for forever. And the one thing I believe strongly is we all go up together. And that's why I think we collaborate a lot, because it's a really tough way to make a living is retail. So that's the mission of the Retail AI Council. Let's educate, let's learn together. And this thing is, people always feel like they're behind on AI, but nobody's behind because it changes so rapidly. So even if you're ahead, wait a couple months and you're going to be just in the same place. So we're all at the same place. And we're all behind and we're all learning to try to keep up.
And how can leaders keep up with AI and everything that is bringing to commerce?
There's nothing better than trying it, play around with it, whether it's LLM or you're doing a project. I personally have written APIs to call AI to do things. And boy, you learn so much about it. You learn about the settings. There's certain settings and prompts. I follow about 5 different Reddits on AI and prompting. I listen to your podcast, or see what others are doing, go to events, but it's just how you learn about any new tech is just immerse yourself in it, get your hands, roll up your sleeves and get your hands in it and see what you can do. And doesn't work, that's okay, right? Because you haven't spent anything. If you do it you have a really big idea, spend some time, you spend some money and go after it and it fails miserably, that's still a win. You still learn a lot.
You learn something from it.
There's that old startup thing, like fail fast. And I just always add fail fast, but not always. You need a few of these things to work, but not all of them or not most of them.
And do you have an AI strategy?
I wouldn't say that we do. I would say that we have a sell more vitamins strategy that heavily uses AI. But I don't wake up in the morning and say, how can I use AI today? I wake up in the morning and say, how can we better serve our customers through technology, operations, systems? And AI is going to be a big part of it. So we understand AI, we're using AI, but I don't think of my strategy as being for AI or about AI. It's about supplements and good health.
Do you think that leaders get that mistake sometimes?
Yeah, I think it's controversial because this came up when, do I have a cloud strategy? I don't, but we use the cloud and we have a plan to move to the cloud. But again, why are we moving to the cloud? Not because it's cool and we want to say it and put it on our resumes. We're moving to the cloud because it helps our systems flex and make variable costs, have more capacity, security. So, but what's our strategy for the cloud? It's to sell more vitamins, and the cloud's a tool. Mobile. So these are all tools. Just like, a construction person would have a drill and a hammer and a saw, but I don't think they wake up and go, what's our hammer strategy? They say, how do I make a beautiful building at affordable cost? So it's the same thing.
Exactly. You have to have the mindset, the core business goal as the mindset, and then use the tools you have available,
Yeah.
right?
Now, if I was a tech company or a software company, then I'd have an AI strategy. But on my health and wellness, because tech is going to be disrupted or is being disrupted so much, it's, they have to really wake up thinking about it.
Is this part of the having your Lego and the composable way? Do you think some of these technologies that you have, I think they're going to develop differently, right? Like in this transition, can you easily switch them?
That's exactly what Composable is, right? So we have a wonderful search tool. That company is investing in AI, but if they don't keep up, if they get eclipsed, plug in a new one. And this is for anything from credit cards to sales tax to search to navigation to content management. A website's not a single piece of software. It's a collection that appears hopefully to the customer as a single solution. But
so you keep in touch, like you keep working together with these technologies to see if they're evolving with the world and
exactly
your needs.
What we do. Yep, exactly what we do through quarterly business reviews and understanding their roadmaps and keeping kind of a pulse on where others are going and what capabilities are consumers looking.
In 5 years, how do you see retail and the world of commerce?
Yeah, it's what we already talked about. It's the agents. The agents are going to be there. My agent's going to be shopping for my supplements and my shoes. You travel a lot. I travel a bit. I might say to my agent, oh man, I'm having trouble, like I said, sleeping. It's going to do some research and say, well, put your phone away and do this and turn the lights off and take ashwagandha and valerian root. Well, get me some of that, right? And it's going to look and say, well, the best place to get it is the vitamin shop because they have good quality at a good price. And I noticed on your calendar that you're going to be in Texas next week, so I'm going to ship it there because their average shipping time is 3 days. And it knows what credit card I want to use, and then in 3 or 4 days, it's going to go, make sure you have that and start taking it. Here's the dose and turn the lights on and start winding down. Like that is amazing, right? That's an agent. So where do retailers fit into that? Someone has to be able to service. If we don't have that API, then that agent's going to go look at a competitor and just source it somewhere else.
And by you building these amazing IT teams, how are you hiring for this next level of commerce? What are the skills you're looking for?
Yeah. So, I was really, really great at COBOL. Probably never even heard of that. 30-some years ago as a partner. There's all the rage, right? And haven't done that for 29 years. So I don't hire for specific skills. I hire people that have curiosity and intelligence and ambition. These are the things I can't teach. You had to learn them from your mother or, from kindergarten. So people that have curiosity and they're interested and they're smart and they're going to be the best people because they're going to continually learn. The one thing we can guarantee about the future is we don't know what it is. And whether it's computer programmers or product managers or any of the really important roles across IT, it's about evolving. I know I walked out of college and said, phew, I don't have to learn ever again. Boy, was that wrong. It's a lifelong commitment to learning. And the world has changed so much and will continue to do so. So just hiring these people that are ready and able and willing to adapt is key.
And you have an extensive experience leading in retail in general. What is the advice that you give, that you've learned in your career that you would give to anyone that wants to work in IT?
I think that it's really important, and maybe more so than ever, to focus on fundamentals. We used to say reading, writing, and arithmetic, and those things really do matter. Like, reading is just so powerful, whether it's written by a person or by an AI, but be able to absorb information. I mean, not only did I write a book, I love books. It's the one thing, like I try not to have too many possessions, but I have way too many books. I love reading the books, carrying them around with me. And I'm still old school with a hard copy.
Same.
Yeah, I'm on a computer enough all day.
I just really appreciate the fact that there's not an algorithm understand, like seeing what I'm doing. It's just like offline.
Yeah,
I love that.
exactly.
Yeah.
And then, even though AI can write, I think it's important for people to continue to write. It helps you persuade, keep your thoughts. And everybody's a writer, not just people that wrote books, but you're writing emails, you're writing memos, you're writing questions, all day long, we all write. And so that's such an important skill. And I hope people don't lose that. Then math skills are just key for not only knowing math, but the spreadsheet does the math for you, but understanding it is really important. It's a logical thinking from that. And I would say, and maybe this will be controversial, but I think that another fundamental skill that people need to learn is how software works. And you might say, well, the computer's going to write the software, right? No one needs to be a computer programmer, but our entire world will run on software. You might even argue it already does. And having an understanding of what it's doing, it's just going to make people empowered to say, okay, what's it doing? How's it doing that? And so I think if you can read and you can write and you understand math and you understand logic and basic of computers.
I've been trying to build my own AI agents. And I have to say that I struggle with that part, with understanding the software. Because I haven't been from a tech background. I know what I want, but I don't know how to describe piece by piece, which is someone that came from tech would know. Yeah,
and I think that's where we are right now. I think that will get better. I do vibe coding for fun on the side, and I think my background as a developer really helps me know what to tell it, or to tell it what it did wrong, or sometimes I like to argue with it, about structure or database layout. So, but this is temporary.
Is it?
Yeah, it'll get better. Or you'll have an AI talking to your other AI. I listen to the founder of the Khan Academy, and they teach math, and they're teaching kids, so they wanted to be very careful with their AI. And also AIs are really, for whatever reason, notoriously bad at math. So they have a AI tutor, but they have another AI that reviews what the tutor did to check both for accuracy and then appropriateness. And so their AI is watching their AI, and then they present it to the student.
I'm excited for, I wouldn't even say the future. I'm doing like the super short future, like, I don't know, next week what's gonna happen. But how are you training your current team to adapt to that? Like, are they, well, they're mostly in tech, but you're COO now.
Yeah, I wouldn't say my team's mostly in tech. I have an international business and a wholesale business and the supply chain. So it's really across a lot of different areas of the business.
How are they training for that?
I just want to tell everyone, my team, people listening, be bold, be curious, try things. You really aren't going to hurt anything. And because we can try things more quickly, the risk has been reduced significantly. So you got an idea, let's do it. Let's build it. Let's see. Let's try it. So the vibe coding idea, right? We didn't know how that was going to go. But when this gentleman said, hey, I want to build this, like, great, go for it. And if it didn't work, it'd be okay. It didn't take too much time. And even if, like you said earlier, if it did, you learned a lot.
Well, I don't even know how to end this conversation, because I think I could spend the whole day talking about possibilities.
Well, how about we end with me asking you a question? You've asked 73 people questions. How about that?
Well, sure. What can I answer?
Hi, I'm Andrew Laudato, interviewing Paula on OFFBounds episode.
I'm getting interviewed in my own podcast. All right.
Paula, you've interviewed so many amazing people. What's one theme or insight that really stuck with you, especially around innovation or leadership?
Well, one thing that I had no idea that I would learn, that I will hear so much about, is curiosity, how that is important for every leader that comes here. When I ask about the skills they look for, they're always looking for the soft skills. And curiosity is a big one. When it comes to leadership as well, I just interviewed another COO that it really touched my heart on how to build teams, high-performing teams, by giving them like purpose, like knowing the goal, knowing the role in that goal, and nurturing those people to stretch a little bit outside of their comfort zone and their qualifications. And I think that happened to me. Someone saw that I could do things that I wasn't qualified to do. And I think that's key. I think we need to push people and give them support to grow.
Yeah, give them a big goal, remove obstacles, and get out of the way. I love it.
Exactly. And be there to support, right? I think these are the things that I'm learning a lot. When it comes to technologies, I think everything that we just said, like the leadership skills are going to take you to this nurturing is going to take you to the next level when it comes to technology. Technology is just the enabler of your mindset.
Absolutely. Well said. Well done.
Thank you so much, Andy. We finally made it, and I hope to see you soon.
Yep. Thank you.